Hello friends, it's me again, Sheriff Labrador, and today we have a special episode.
Hi everyone! Yes, Sheriff Labrador, I am already excited.
Together with my loyal partner, Sheriff Dobie, we will tell you about the most beautiful and challenging mode in Roblox. Escape the Carnival of Terror Obby.
This mode is simply incredible. You enter a mysterious and eerie carnival full of dangers and unexpected twists.
Let's start from the very beginning. As soon as you enter the game, you are greeted by a spooky carnival lit only by dim lanterns. Dangerous traps and evil ghost clowns patrolling the area are scattered everywhere. Your task is to avoid them at all costs.
Exactly. The first stage is a maze of inflatable castles. You need to be very careful and quick not to fall into the clown's hands. I advise you to watch your step carefully to avoid the traps.
Yes, and that's just the beginning. Next, you will face the mirror room, where it is easy to get lost. The main thing here is to remember the path and not to panic. Mirrors can be deceiving, so don't let them confuse you.
And don't forget about the Ferris wheel. It looks beautiful, but inside it is full of dangerous mechanisms. You need to be very attentive and not stop, so you don't end up in a trap.
We need to go through these rusty pipes. Oh no, the fire touched us. We'll have to start over. And of course, we can't forget about the final part, the escape through the horror attraction. This is the most challenging part, where you will have to use all your skills and agility to reach the exit.
Friends, this mode is truly amazing. It is not only challenging, but also incredibly beautiful. We are sure you will love it. We are now in the very heart of the Carnival of Horrors, in the house of the Clownity. Just look at this grim place. We have to complete a parkour over old stinky pipes, and below us lies an abyss.
Yes, this is really frightening. The stinky pipes are not just a test of our agility, but also a true test of endurance. The foul smell is awful, but we need to focus and move forward.
Watch your step, Sheriff Labrador. If we slip, we'll fall into that bottomless pit. We need to be extremely careful and watch every step we take. Let's take this slowly and steadily.
Good plan, Sheriff Dobie. Do you see that narrow pipe ahead? We need to jump onto it and then move along the wall. The key is not to rush and to maintain our balance.
Great, I'm ready. Go ahead, Labrador, you first. I'll cover you. This is probably one of the toughest stages in this mode, but we'll make it, right?
Of course, Dobie. We're a team. Okay, one jump, then another. Carefully. Got it. Now it's your turn, Dobie.
Got it. I'm coming. One jump, another. Yes, I did it. Now we need to walk along this narrow pipe. It's slippery, so hold on tight.
Now we are in the scariest part, the torture room. There are saws everywhere, and we need to somehow make our way through this madness and get outside, where the clown's amusement park awaits us.
Yes, this is a real nightmare. These saws spin so fast that one mistake could cost us our lives. We need to move very carefully and precisely time our actions.
Look, Dobie, the saws move in a specific pattern. If you watch closely, you can catch the moment when they stop for a split second. That's when we need to dash through.
I made it through too. Can't you see me? Wow, look at this beautiful amusement park. The Ferris wheel, roller coasters, and so much more.
We're now running away from the scariest clown in this carnival. He wants to turn us into his dolls, and we urgently need to find a way to escape. Look, ahead of us is the Ferris wheel. That's our chance to get out.
Up, up! The clown is still behind us. Let's go, Labrador. We can do this.
Yes, we're at the top. What a view! From here we can see the entire carnival. The clown won't catch us here.
Phew, that was intense. But we did it, Labrador. Now we're safe.
Guys, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give us likes. It's the best gift from you that each of you can give us.
For subscribing, I'll tell you a secret story. Our adventure began when we received an urgent call to the amusement park. Who would have thought that a giant dinosaur would appear in this creepy carnival and start wreaking havoc?
Yes, when we arrived, the scene was just terrible. The dinosaur knocked over the Ferris wheel, and it started rolling towards the sea. We realized that if it wasn't stopped, there would be big problems.
The first thing we did was try to get the dinosaur's attention so it would stop destroying the park. Labrador, do you remember how we used loud noises to distract it?
Of course, Dobie. We started sounding sirens and launching fireworks. It worked, and the dinosaur temporarily stopped. This gave us some time to figure out how to stop the Ferris wheel.
The wheel was almost at the sea when we realized we could use construction cranes to hold it back. We quickly climbed the nearest cranes and started moving them towards the wheel.
It was tough, but we made it in time. We stopped the wheel and it ceased rolling. Meanwhile, the dinosaur started moving towards us again.
We knew we had to act quickly. While Labrador was dealing with the wheel, I went to find a way to calm the dinosaur. I found a big net and some strong tranquilizers. Just in time, we managed to sedate the dinosaur before it could start destroying everything again.
It was a real team effort. We saved the amusement park and prevented a huge disaster. Friends, always remember that in such situations, coordinated work and quick thinking are crucial.
Yes, Labrador, we did it! Friends, if you liked our story, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We are always ready for new adventures in the world of Roblox and are happy to share them with you.
Whoa, Dobie, this portal has teleported us to a new location. A volcano is erupting around us and lava is flowing beneath us. This is insane.
Yes, Labrador, this looks very dangerous. We have to be extremely careful. Look, there are many fire traps and challenging parkour ahead. We need to be quick and precise in our movements.
Right, Dobie. Let's start by carefully observing the trajectory of these fire traps. We need to understand when they activate so we can dash through between the bursts.
Look, the first trap activates every 5 seconds. We have to wait for the right moment and quickly dash through. Ready?
Ready. 1, 2, 3. Now. Great, I made it. Your turn, Dobie.
Here I go. Now! Who made it? Look, ahead is a narrow bridge over the lava. It looks very fragile, so we need to move slowly and carefully.
Keep your balance, Dobie. Look straight ahead and don't look down. We can make it if we're careful. One step at a time. Great, we're almost to the other side.
We did it, but there's another big fire trap ahead. We need to wait for the right moment again and dash through quickly.
Right, let's focus. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Now. Whew, that was close, but we did it. Next, we need to jump over the lava flows.
Labrador, look, these platforms are moving. We need to time our jumps correctly to avoid landing in the lava. I'll jump first. Now! Great! I'm on the platform. Your turn.
Hey, here I come. Jump. Made it. We're doing great, Dobie. Just a few more jumps and we'll reach a safe place.
Come on, Labrador. Just a bit more. Jump. And another. Yes, we did it. We made it through all the fire traps and parkour.
Wow, do you see how beautiful and spooky it is here? It looks like someone is having a party. So, shall we go to their house? This clown hasn't had enough of us yet, and now we're going to play some mini games from him. Wish us luck, subscribers. Dobie, remember the story about the clown park? Recently, we were called to the clown park. There were rumors that everyone who visited the clown's room disappeared without a trace. We decided to investigate.
Yes, Labrador. Those rumors were too strange to ignore. When we entered the park, the atmosphere immediately felt sinister, especially that clown room.
Exactly, Dobie. The entrance to the room was decorated with rusty chains and cracked masks that seemed to watch our every move. We immediately felt that something was very wrong here.
Inside, it was even worse. The walls were covered with faded posters of circus performances that looked like they came from an old nightmare. The air was thick with the smell of mold and decay.
Agreed. There were dolls scattered haphazardly on the floor, looking like they had been thrown in a hurry. And the walls had strange stains that resembled dried blood.
And those eerie clown paintings on the walls. They were painted with such creepy precision that it felt like the clowns were about to come to life. In the corner of the room, we found a huge chest labeled toys. But when we opened it...
Yes, inside were old tattered clown costumes and wigs. And one more thing, a small diary where someone had detailed the disappearances. It was horrifying.
Reading those entries was chilling. They described how the clown lured his victims by offering them a special performance. But none of them ever returned. We knew we had to be extremely careful.
We continued to search the room and found a hidden door behind one of the posters. Behind it was a narrow corridor leading into the darkness. We decided we had to find out what was down there.
The corridor led us to a massive door, which we found out was the dressing room.
It seems this is where the clown turned people into his friends, applying makeup to make them unrecognizable. This explains why no one ever returned. Those who left this room were completely transformed. Even their close friends and family couldn't recognize them. This is pure madness. I'm really nervous too. You never know what's waiting around the next corner, but I think this ramp might be our way out of this level.
Hold on, Labrador. We're taking off. Oh no, what is this darkness?
Hooray! We made it through this level. Thanks for being with us. Stay tuned. There's a lot more exciting stuff ahead. Until next time.
Goodbye, and remember, always hold on tight on those roller coasters of horror.
Hello, dear friends. Today, Dobby and I will be playing the scariest map in Roblox, Doors. We are in for a lot of mysterious challenges, and most importantly, we'll be accompanied by various jump scares and a creepy atmosphere throughout the journey. We hope you enjoy watching.
Yes, hello everyone. That's right, Sheriff Labrador. The fans have been asking us to play this map a lot. Thanks to all the likes and comments. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, we've already passed through 2 rooms.
Dobby, finally, we'll test your mettle. You always say you're not afraid of anything, but on all the maps we've played, you've always tucked your tail in fear. Ha ha ha!
Let's focus on the game, Labrador. I hope you didn't forget to put on a diaper yourself.
Look at how many people are with us. I think they, like us, decided to test their nerves. Dobby, how often do you play horror games alone? I get really scared when I'm by myself. It's always less scary with friends.
I don't really like playing alone either. It's definitely calmer with friends. Plus, you can always chat and share interesting stories with friends. It's strange. We're already at the 10th door and haven't encountered a single monster. Maybe the game glitched?
I don't think so, Dobby. These kinds of games love to wait for just the right amount of time, and then a really scary monster suddenly jumps out at you.
Ah, did you see the lights flicker? I think that's a sign that a monster is about to attack.
What? Where did we get teleported to? What should we do? We probably just need to keep moving forward and not look back. It's really scary.
Oh, I get it. We can't just keep moving forward. Let's be careful and watch out for any signs or clues.
Exactly, Dobby. When the turnaround sign appears on the screen, we need to make sure we don't miss it. I hope our whole team handles this monster, or it'll be even scarier alone. By the way, where is everyone? Maybe they got teleported to a nearby room? If that's the case, how does this monster track each player? Maybe there are several of them.
You mean several identical monsters? That's not a bad theory. Maybe we're being teleported to different worlds altogether.
Yes, we defeated the first monster. Looks like our whole team is okay too. Great job, Dobby. It seems there are 2 doors here and only 1 is correct. Do you remember the number of the previous door? It seems it was the 11th door. Oh, there's no 12th door here at all.
I definitely remember that the previous door was number 13. It seems the girl sacrificed herself for our team. Oh no, she's fine. But it must have been painful.
What's that blue light? Could it be another monster attacking us so quickly? I better just walk past as quickly as possible. It's not bothering me anyway. Looks like it was harmless.
We've already encountered 2 monsters. I wonder how many more there are. Please write in the comments. What do you think, Sheriff Labrador? How many doors will we pass today? Judging by our pace, we have a chance to reach the 100th door and beat the game. I really hope so.
I think we'll reach the 50th door. While you were talking, we met an absolutely identical monster with a blue glow. It seems to exist solely to psychologically scare us with its presence. Such jump scares only work on kids. But we've seen worse, haven't we? Perhaps the farther we go, the more frequently we'll encounter monsters. I wonder if it's possible for there to be 10 monsters in one room at once.
Let's keep going. I think we'll encounter a new monster soon. And here comes an attack. The lights are flickering again. Let's run into the closet.
Well, where is it? Was that attack fake and they just scared us? Listen to the sounds. Something cracked, probably the light bulbs.
It seems like we're about to suffocate. We should have practiced holding our breath. Ah, did you see that? Someone just ran by. It's a new monster.
We've already passed 20 rooms, though I don't see one of our team members. Hopefully he'll catch up if you're not dead. Here's a grill. Is this the end? Oh no, it seems we need to do something in the basement to open the gate of the grill. Maybe we need to find something like a button or a lever.
Yes, I think there will definitely be something useful here. Maybe even a flashlight. I think I see a lever behind the grill. Great. He did it.
Let's tell the guys a scary story with an unexpected ending about how you and I went on a spooky quest.
Oh no, just don't remind me of that. I just forgot.
Once I, Sheriff Labrador, along with my partner Dobby, decided to unwind a bit and accept an invitation to a new quest that had opened nearby our precinct. It was called the Labyrinth of Horrors, and we were assured it would be a fun experience. We arrived at the quest, and right at the entrance, we were greeted by an ominous atmosphere. Dim lighting, gloomy decorations, and eerie sounds. But we were confident. What could frighten 2 sheriffs who had been through so many trials?
As we entered the maze, I was full of determination to prove that we weren't easily frightened. The first rooms were amusing, strange sounds and flashes of light. But the further we went, the scarier it became. In one of the rooms, vicious creatures suddenly appeared. Labrador seemed unfazed, but I could feel my heart pounding more and more. It was especially terrifying to encounter a huge wolf that unexpectedly leaped out of the shadows. We kept going, and the tension was mounting. At one of the turns, we were confronted by a group of terrifying clowns, their menacing grimaces and sinister laughter making me flinch. I tried to hold it together, but fear was starting to take over.
In one of the last rooms, just when we thought nothing could be scarier, a huge bear with glowing eyes suddenly leaped out from around the corner. Dobie flinched and I felt him wobble slightly. At that moment, I heard a faint sound and realized that Dobie was genuinely scared. I looked at him and saw a dark stain spreading on his pants, which amused me a lot, but I tried not to show it. We hurried towards the exit, where the quest operator greeted us with a wide smile on his face. We pretended like everything was under control, but I knew that this experience would stay with us for a long time.
Wow, I'd rather forget about it forever, like a bad dream. Why did you record it on video? Now everyone will find out about it. How am I supposed to walk down the street calmly now?
Don't worry, you don't get recognized on the street as often as I do. By the way, do you remember the number of the last door? It was 29, so we should go to the 30th. Hey, girl, this way for us. Open this door.
Oh no, she can't hear you. Write in the chat. But you don't have to write anymore. I hope she survived. Let's just open this door ourselves.
Wow, we found a lockpick. We definitely need to try it out.
My nose is itching. That's not a good sign.
Do you see that? There are scary eyes on the wall. Maybe it's a new monster, and you're not supposed to look at them? Although, we would have died long ago. Let's just keep going.
It suddenly got really dark. The perfect moment to scare us. Did you hear that? Ah!
Pooh, that was really scary. I hope you didn't wet yourself, because ahead of us awaits one of the bosses of this map. Seek.
Very funny. You screamed just as loudly as I did. Better prepare yourself mentally. We'll need to run and crawl through obstacles during the battle with the boss.
How do you know all this, Dobie?
To be honest, I've been preparing.
So you wouldn't be scared?
As you can see, it didn't help much.
Here it comes. It's starting. My paws are already sweating. Phew, let's go.
Run, run, run.
Don't worry, Dobie. We got this. The main thing is to stay alert.
I hope we won't get crushed by a wardrobe. Just don't look back or you might trip and fall.
Did you notice that during the boss battle, we also pass through doors because the room number increases?
That's true. It would be nice to make it all the way to the end of the game like this, because this boss is easier than the boss at the 50th door.
The main thing is not to get caught in the fire. Ouch! It seems like I just singed my tail.
Hooray, we did it. Look how we left him behind. He seemed quite slow. Let's tease him, ha ha ha.
Just be careful. The door might suddenly slam shut and we'll be left alone with him.
Looks like he slammed into the door at full speed, but serves him right. It seems like there are fewer and fewer of us, which doesn't make me happy, but it also shows that you and I are doing pretty well. Maybe we really will make it to the last door.
Meanwhile, we're almost to another boss. Figure. Oh, the lights are flickering again, but we already know what to do.
As far as I know, there are 2 types of monsters on this map that you need to hide from in the closet. The first one is Rush, and the second one is Ambush. The difference is that Ambush can fly by several times in a row, and you can't stay in the closet for too long.
Oh no, Dobie, this guy for some reason came out of the closet too early. I feel sorry for him. He probably blinked and thought the monster had already left. Sigh. Minus one more team member. Well, at least we got his lockpicks and lighter. Let's tell the guys an interesting story about how we saved the city from the cunning plan of a mad scientist to infect all electronic devices. This was the time when we, Sheriff Labradors and Dobie, decided to take a break from our usual work and head to the gaming club in the heart of the city. We couldn't afford to relax often, but sometimes we needed a bit of entertainment too. As soon as we entered the gaming club, we were surrounded by the sound of coins, flashing lights, and excited voices. We headed towards the arcade machines, and I noticed an old machine in the corner that always caught my attention.
We forgot about our work and got completely immersed in the world of arcade games. But suddenly, one of the machines malfunctioned. The screen started flickering and occasionally showed strange images that evoked horror and fear. People began to scream and panic.
We immediately realized that something was wrong. Dobie and I decided to check what was happening with this machine. When we approached it, I noticed a strange device connected to its back panel. It seemed to be some kind of signal transmission device.
While we were dealing with this, we received a call from the sheriff's office. It turned out that electronic devices throughout the city had started displaying similar symptoms. We realized that this was not a coincidence, but the cunning plan of some mad scientist.
We rushed to take action. Our top priority was to find this scientist and stop him before he caused even more damage to our city. We used all of our skills and resources to track down his whereabouts.
Thanks to our persistence and cooperation, we managed to find his hideout in an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of the city. He was attempting to activate his device to cause even more chaos, but we thwarted him just in time.
We arrested him and prevented a catastrophe. This incident reminded us that even during leisure time, we must always be vigilant and ready to act when necessary. And although this experience was scary and tense, we were able to overcome it together, like true partners and friends.
Yes, it's wonderful to be a sheriff and have such a loyal and wonderful partner like you. Here we go, Sheriff Labrador. We've reached the next boss. We need to prepare ourselves mentally because it's going to be very challenging.
So, dear friends, this video is coming to an end. If you want to see the continuation of our game, please like and subscribe to the channel. Well, we're not saying goodbye. See you soon. Hello, everyone. Sheriff Labrador here. Can you guess who we're escaping from today? And by the way, I'm not alone.
Yes, Dobie is here too.
As you can see, we're in the house trapped by the evil grandmother. Our task for today is to escape from here. We need to be quiet so as not to wake her up.
But it's not that simple. Don't let her age fool you. She has built a complex of challenges in her house.
Look, she threw away our photo. It seems she hates us.
Let's start the escape. Oh, look, this is a photo of that old man we've already run away from. Looks like they're married.
Oh no, I hope she doesn't wake up from this. Yes, I remember how we escaped from that old man. Be sure to check it out on our channel.
Wow, it looks like this vent led straight to the attic of this house. I hope that Grandma doesn't catch us here. Oh, she even set up mines.
She probably loves cats since there's a photo of one hanging in her attic. Although, all grandmas love cats.
Why do you think this old lady put us in a cage?
As she probably wanted to make soup out of us.
Oh, look, I just noticed we're at a great height, and there are spikes below us.
I hope we don't fall right into the grandmother's mouth when we come out of the ventilation.
I hope so, too. It would be tragic if she ate us right away.
There's a lot of dust in this ventilation. It's driving me crazy.
Oh, look, this grandma is right in front of us. I hope she doesn't wake up right now. Let's jump onto her belly.
Oh, that was unexpected, but it's good she didn't notice us.
Look, are those teeth in a jar? Fee!
I agree, that's disgusting. All right, we need to hurry before she wakes. I didn't even get to finish my sentence.
She's running right after us.
Shoo, what are these snotty green cookies? We'd better not step on them.
She's even farting.
Oh no, she's too close. She might grab us by the tail.
Look, there's a red button in front of us. We need to press it quickly.
This button opened a passage ahead. Let's run there before the evil grandma catches us.
Oh, look how red the evil grandma turned. We should jump next to her.
Look, now she's not even paying attention to us.
There are so many cookies here. I was right when I said she really loves cookies.
The evil grandma is so clumsy that she even knocked over the glass of milk.
Grandma completely forgot about us. She's not even trying to chase us anymore.
Oh, look, it's a giant fan that will lift us straight up.
There are traps along our path set by the evil grandma, but we won't give up. We'll easily overcome them.
I completely agree with you, Dobie. There are no obstacles on our path that we cannot overcome.
Oh, we almost fell back down. We need to be more careful.
Hooray, we've overcome those traps.
Don't celebrate too soon. Let's see what awaits us next behind this door.
Look, we've ended up in some sort of dungeon.
Let's jump on these geysers. I think they'll help us move forward.
Hey, Dobie, don't you think it's getting too hot in here?
I agree with you. It's getting too hot here. Let's get out of here quickly and eat some cold ice cream.
Shoo, the board broke right under us. I hope that doesn't happen again.
Look, there's ventilation again. I think we should climb into it.
The ventilation is dusty again. I hope there are no spiders here.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see a giant spider here.
Oh no, we fell into the room where the evil grandma is knitting.
I hope we don't meet her here. I wouldn't want her to knit a scarf out of us.
Listen, it sounds like something gigantic is rolling nearby. Oh, Dobie, I wasn't imagining it. A giant ball of yarn just rolled past us. Oh no, we didn't quite make it to the safe spot in time. I hope we can reach a safe spot before the next one squashes us flat.
I think we just had a bit of bad luck with the timing.
How convenient that there are holes in the walls. If they weren't there, we would have been flattened a long time ago.
Oh, I can see the exit. I hope the end is near.
Hey, Dobie, to make it more exciting as we head towards the final showdown with the evil grandma, Let's remember how we saved the city from the evil robot.
Of course, it was one of those days when everything seemed calm until the nightmare began. The sky darkened, and a giant evil robot appeared on the horizon, casting a shadow over our town. The townsfolk were panicking, and we, Sheriffs Dobie and Labrador, knew we had to act fast.
First, we had to calm the people down and organize the evacuation of those in the danger zone. But then we decided to find out more about this monstrous machine.
We were shocked to discover that the robot was controlled by a deranged inventor who had lost control of his creation. The robot was rampaging through the town, causing havoc and destruction.
We realized there was no time to waste. We needed to act swiftly to save the town. We assembled a team and gathered all the resources we could find to stop this mechanical menace.
We devised a plan to disable the robot. It was risky, but we had no other choice. We had to protect our town and its people.
Using our knowledge of mechanics and some heavy-duty equipment, we managed to create a powerful electromagnetic pulse, EMP, device. Our goal was to get close enough to the robot to activate the EMP and shut it down.
With the help of our brave team, we set up a diversion to distract the robot while we got into position. It was dangerous, but we were determined to succeed.
As the robot focused on the diversion, Dobie and I made our move. We got close enough to activate the EMP, and with a loud hum, the robot started to malfunction.
The giant robot staggered and then collapsed, its systems fried by the EMP. The immediate threat was over, but we knew we had to secure the area and ensure the robot was completely disabled.
Working together, we dismantled the robot piece by piece, making sure it couldn't be reactivated. The townsfolk began to emerge from their hiding places, grateful and relieved.
Saving the town from the giant robot, we understood that the power of our unity and determination could overcome any challenge. Thanks to our joint effort, the town was saved, and Labrador and I are proud to have helped our community in its hour of need.
Did you see that giant pool filled with cookies? She's definitely crazy.
Yeah, but there's a trap here. Of course, it didn't work on us, but it was still scary. One wrong move and it's all over.
Look, there's another big fan here. Hopefully there are fewer traps this time around.
This fan has propelled us to crazy speeds.
I love speed, especially when I'm racing on my police bike to respond to calls.
Oh, look, the airflow from the fan lifted us up.
Let's jump carefully so we don't fall into the abyss.
This challenge room is longer than I thought. Hopefully, we'll get out of here soon.
Oh, there's a new obstacle ahead, but we're not afraid of it.
It's interesting why the evil old lady set up these challenges for us.
I think it's useless to dwell on that. Our main priority is to escape from here.
Oh, we weren't careful enough going through that obstacle course. Next time, we should watch our step more closely.
Carefulness and professionalism are crucial aspects of our work.
These pipes are taking us higher and higher. The main thing is not to fall into that abyss.
I think the exit from here is coming up soon. The key is not to rush, and everything will work out.
It's getting boring. Let's tell another story again.
With pleasure. It was one of those serene days when the sun was shining bright and the town was going about its usual business. But then came the relentless rain. At first, it seemed like a passing shower, but it soon became evident that this was no ordinary downpour. The streets were quickly flooding and panic spread among the townspeople. Sheriff Dobie and I knew we had to act swiftly.
First and foremost, we had to calm the frantic residents and swiftly organize the evacuation of those in the flood's path. It was a chaotic scene, with people desperately seeking higher ground as the waters rose.
Once the initial chaos was somewhat under control, we delved into understanding the cause of this sudden deluge.
To our astonishment, we discovered that a reckless scientist was to blame. He had been experimenting with weather control technology and inadvertently triggered this catastrophic flooding.
There was no time to waste. The safety of our town was at stake. We quickly assembled a team of rescuers and set out to confront this new challenge.
Together, we devised a plan to mitigate the flooding and clear the streets. It was risky, but in times of crisis, risks must be taken.
Using specialized equipment and strategic placements, we managed to divert the worst of the flooding away from populated areas and towards safer zones.
Through tireless effort and determination, we were able to stabilize the situation. The water levels began to recede, and the immediate danger passed.
As the town started to recover amidst the cleanup and restoration efforts, Dobie and I reflected on the resilience of our community. It was through our combined efforts and unwavering resolve that we managed to save our town from the brink of disaster.
The experience reinforced to us the importance of unity in the face of adversity. Together, we overcame the challenges posed by the flooding and emerged stronger as a community. Labrador and I take pride in having been able to assist our fellow townsfolk in their time of need.
Hey, Dobie, enough with the story. Look, there's a giant cookie in front of us. Let's get closer to it.
Let's grab it before the evil old lady comes.
I think it's a trap, so be prepared.
We're sheriffs after all. We're always ready.
I guessed it, but it was pretty obvious. What else could the grandma come up with? Look at how many of her clones are here.
When did she manage to multiply like this? I think we need to hurry, or they'll fill up this entire lawn.
Despite all our efforts, the clones of the evil old lady keep coming and coming.
We've already taken almost half of this old lady's health. It's good they gave us a bazooka instead of a revolver. Otherwise, we'd be fighting for a very long time.
Don't celebrate too soon. We need to be more careful or we'll end up trapped here forever.
I've noticed there are two types of grandmas here. Some die from one hit, while others have a lot of HP.
Hooray, we won! That was a thrilling battle.
Oh, I totally agree with you, Labrador. It was not an easy battle.
Now we just need to get out of this cursed house as quickly as possible.
Wow, what a car. It must be some powerful sports car. It even has cookie wheels. Since we defeated that grandma, it means we've accomplished our goal for today.
And that means it's time to say goodbye. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button.
See you soon.
What? Where are we, Dobie?
I don't know, but it looks a lot like a children's room with toys everywhere.
Wait a minute. It can't be. This looks like
The
Evil Doll's room. Hello, everyone! Today, Dobie and I are going to escape from the Evil Doll's house. What will we encounter?
And what awaits us will be a multitude of amazing and mysterious challenges. Our goal is not only to escape, but also to defeat the evil doll herself.
Just look at this room. It even has a special atmosphere that makes you start to feel like a child again.
I completely agree with you, Labrador. Today we will also plunge into childhood and explore the house of this doll.
So, it looks like we need to go through this small passage. The arrows lead to the house. Hopefully, the battle with the doll won't start too soon.
We picked up some candy. I wouldn't try it. She might have poisoned it. We need to find 10 of these candies.
It seems like we need to jump here. Let's postpone it for a bit and explore this house. Maybe we'll find something useful here.
Great. It wasn't in vain that we looked around. We found another candy.
Hooray! Checkpoint so we can die.
How much she loves herself, hanging her own portraits. I think you took your phrase too seriously. There was no need to die for a check.
I accidentally thought it was okay to walk there.
Ahead is another hole. Where are we descending to? It's like we're not far from hell.
Doesn't look like hell. It's a mountain of dishes here.
Listen, for me, a mountain of dishes is hell. I hate washing them.
And I'm the opposite. I enjoy it. I turn on my favorite playlist and sing along. It really lifts my spirits.
It's very strange. It seems like this place hasn't been cleaned in years. Maybe instead of washing dishes, she just buys new ones?
Yeah, that seems to be the case. I can't think of any other explanation for this mess.
It feels like we still have forever to go. I don't see the end in the distance. These arrows do have a mesmerizing effect, almost as if they're intentionally arranged to create an illusion or induce hallucinations.
Did you notice that in this room the floor is lava? But I see roses in this lava. It seems like these are hallucinations.
I see them too. Great, we've reached another checkpoint.
It seems like there's finally an end. Phew, I hope the next location won't involve parkour. I'm a bit tired already.
Some creepy toys, perhaps a demon has possessed them, or the souls of children are trapped inside them. Brrr! Scary. By the way, did you know that in Poppy Playtime, the toys aren't actually bloody, but it's a mixture of red Poppy? I recently studied the storyline of this game. It's very interesting.
No, I didn't know. I'll definitely check it out in my free time, but just look at how we were fooled. It turns out we didn't see the real end, but now we can see the house in the distance. It seems like we should head there.
Let's hurry up then. I can even see a Ferris wheel. It's a very interesting location. I'd like the amusement park to be close to our police station.
Hey, Dobie, have you ever thought about candies?
Of course, Lab. Who doesn't love sweets?
True that. But do you have a favorite candy?
Well, I think my choice is chocolate candies with nuts. What about you?
I prefer caramel candies. They're like a sweet sound in the middle of the workday.
Agreed. Sometimes caramel can be a real lifesaver. But you know what's even better than candies?
I don't think anything can be better than candies. Well, maybe even more candies.
Yeah, exactly. I'm on the same page with you. Candies are just incredibly delicious.
You just look at her. Why is she sitting there staring at us and didn't even say hello?
It seems to me she pretended to be an inanimate doll, but was actually watching us.
Then it's even scarier. Maybe we need to walk around here and find a way to open the gates.
Here it is, the button. Looks like we need to press 3 of these.
It says you can hide here. Looks like we're about to face some dangerous challenge.
Let's go.
And here she is, descending on her long braids. How does she see anything with those eyes?
Oops, let's hide quickly. I want to watch her from a safe place.
Let's climb higher. Maybe she won't notice us that way.
Did you see that? Her braids just flickered past the room. I'd hold my breath.
We mustn't forget our current task, namely to press 2 more buttons.
It's good that we took a look around. It's never unnecessary. Actually, I see quite a few rooms here where we can hide, so this challenge will be very easy for us, especially considering that we have experience as sheriffs.
I constantly hear her whispering. It's very unsettling.
Oh no, she's behind us. We need to hurry and press this button and hide. Let's lighten the mood and ease the tension by telling the folks a couple of interesting stories.
Okay, let me get started. It was a regular morning in our quiet town. Sheriff Dobie and I decided to relax a bit and headed to our favorite corner cafe to enjoy some delicious donuts and good conversation. Just as we were starting to savor the aroma of fresh donuts, our tranquility was suddenly disrupted. We received a call from the evil ice cream vendor who allegedly hypnotized children with his ice cream and demanded ransom. Without hesitation, we abandoned the donuts and rushed to the scene. The situation was serious, and we needed to act quickly. Upon arrival at the ice cream stand, we found a group of children with blank, trance-like stares, as if they were indeed under hypnosis. We realized that the ice cream contained some strange component that affected the children's minds. Without wasting any time, we devised a plan. I distracted the ice cream vendor by asking him questions about his ice cream, while Dobie searched for and destroyed the source of the hypnotic influence. Thanks to our coordinated efforts, we were able to expose the villain and free all the children from his control. We apprehended the ice cream vendor and handed him over to the police.
Great story, Labrador. In the meantime, we've passed the first mini challenge and are tackling the parkour again. Let me continue our tales. Waking up to the unexpected sounds of fireworks, I immediately sensed that something was amiss. After all, it was still early in the morning, and such loud noises didn't fit the usual order of things in our town. Getting out of bed, I realized that I needed to check what was going on. Stepping outside, my nose caught something strange. The smell of smoke and fire. Sheriff Labrador, my faithful partner, was already waiting for me outside my house, and his expression said it all. Something serious had happened. Following our instincts, we decided to investigate the area where we heard the fireworks. Soon enough, we found the source of the smoke. A warehouse storing goods for our town was on fire. We quickly approached the scene and began unraveling the puzzle. The traces left at the crime scene told us that it was the work of malicious criminals, unwilling to bring anything good to our town. Gathering all possible evidence, we concluded that our task was to find the culprits and prevent further attacks on our community. Thanks to our efforts and meticulous investigation, we were able to track down the criminals and arrest them before they could do any more harm.
Dobie, you remembered another captivating story as well, but I can already feel that we're close to our goal. The final battle with the boss, the evil doll, is just around the corner. But before that, I want to share one more of my stories. After a long and well-deserved break, when Dobie and I finally returned to work, I felt full of enthusiasm and ready for action. However, to our surprise, the first few hours on duty were completely calm. Not a single call came in, and I began to find it suspicious. Suspicions grew when I noticed that our antenna wasn't transmitting signals. Apparently, something had happened to the wires. We started checking and found that the wires had been chewed through. The culprit turned out to be an evil raccoon, who clearly didn't want us to receive calls and be able to help people. Realizing immediately that our communication was disrupted, I pressed the SOS button to alert the other sheriffs about the problem. We couldn't afford to leave our town unprotected due to unexpected technical issues. Soon after that, the calls started pouring in one after another. It was obvious that people needed our help, and there was no time to waste. Dobie and I immediately headed to the scenes to assist those in need.
Oh my god, while you were telling us your story, we've already started battling the evil doll. Let's give her a fight.
Did you see how that giant candy nearly hit us on the head? We need to not only aim at it, but also dodge its attacks.
She seems to really love sweets. How is she not stuck in another place? Oh, she's a doll.
Shoot more accurately, our shots are missing.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
By the way, Dobie, have you ever thought about the harm of sweets?
Of course, Lab. Sweets can be delicious, but they can also be harmful, especially if consumed in excess.
Exactly. I've noticed that lately our residents have been consuming too many sweets. This can lead to health problems, especially for children.
Yes, and not just for children. We need to inform our citizens about the importance of balanced nutrition and limiting the consumption of sweets.
Agreed. Let's organize a campaign to educate people about the dangers of excessive sugar consumption. Together, we can make our city healthier and stronger.
Yes, we did it. Well done, Sheriff Labrador.
Hold on. Maybe we haven't won yet. I'm not quite sure what she's doing right now.
It seems like I understand what's about to happen, and I'm glad about it.
Oh my, what a ridiculous death. It must be quite embarrassing, especially considering she almost had us for dinner.
Absolutely! It's time to celebrate our victory for real now!
Sometimes even the cringiest dances feel like a victory lap, don't they?
I agree with you, but it's still good that other players don't see it.
It seems like we've reached the end of this place, which means it's time to wrap things up. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed watching us escape from this house today, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel. And of course, don't forget to suggest other Roblox places for us to play. We're not saying goodbye. See you later. Hi guys, today Dobie and I have entered the Roblox mode Escape from Babysitter Betty's Nursery. Don't forget to like and comment.
Hi! So Labrador, we're in the nursery, and it's pretty boring here. Looks like Betty is on the phone. A perfect moment to escape.
Yeah, Betty isn't usually very attentive, but if she gets angry, she becomes a real monster. We need to act quickly and carefully. Hey, do you remember that there's also the janitor Ben?
Of course! Ben is always running around the corridors with his huge mop. He probably dreams of catching us and sending us back to the nursery.
All right, let's start. Look, we need to crawl through this hole in the wall. Hey, Dobie, don't get stuck there.
Aha! I almost thought I was stuck. But no, I made it through. Wow, look, there's a whole maze of toys here. Is that a giant teddy bear?
Yeah, exactly. Let's pass by it and carefully go down this slide. I hope it's not too slippery. Oh, I almost fell.
Ha ha! Watch your step, Labrador. Hey, what do you think if Betty were a superhero? What would her superpower be?
I think she could teleport so she could instantly appear next to us and send us back to the nursery. What do you think?
I think her superpower would be Sleepy Dust. She would put all the kids to sleep instantly so they wouldn't escape. Oh, look, there's Ben with his mop.
Quick, hide behind this bed. Oh, Ben, you have no idea how close we are to you. Ha ha!
Whew, that was close. Now let's go through this pillow tunnel. By the way, what if Ben were the main character in a horror movie?
That would be something. The movie would be called Killer Mop Ben Returns. Ha ha! All right, just a bit more. Let's get to the exit quickly.
I see the door. We just need to get past this builder block and we're free. Hey, look, Betty is back. I hope she didn't see us.
All right, Dobie. Our task is to build a tower out of blocks to climb over this playpen fence. Look, I've already started. Hand me a couple more blocks.
Got it, Labrador. Here are some more blocks. By the way, do you remember how we used to escape from our babysitter when we were kids? She always made us take naps, but we just wanted to play.
Oh, of course I remember. We used pillows as steps to climb out the window. Good times. But now we've got a similar challenge. Almost done. Climb up.
Climbing up. I hope these blocks hold. Whoa, they're wobbling. Hold on tight, Labrador. Who made it? Now we need to build a block tower to reach the ventilation. This pile will do.
Look, there's the ventilation. I'm sure Ben is there. He's always on guard. Haha. He's like our watchdog, but with a mop. Let's get to work. Blocks in place.
Oh, Ben in the ventilation is just hilarious. I remember once he chased us with his mop when we tried to steal some cookies. He should be reminded of that. All right, climbing up.
I'm right behind you. Hey, look, there's Ben. He spotted us. Dobie, do you have a plan?
Of course, let's remember our childhood tricks. Remember how we set up obstacles? We'll do the same now. Let's throw blocks at him and make a run for it.
Great idea. Take this, Ben. Here's a block. Faster, Dobie. There's the ventilation door. Push it.
Hooray, we did it. Whew, we're out. Labrador, as always, you're the best. Remember how we used to escape as kids?
Of course I remember that time when you put a pillow under the door to keep it from creaking, and then we quietly slipped out into the garden. Ha ha!
And the babysitter was looking for us all over the house while we hid in the bushes eating raspberries. That was so much fun.
When Dobie and I were little, our parents decided to have an evening without kids and hired a babysitter to look after us. We got the address and went there ourselves since our street was safe and our parents thought we could handle it. Unfortunately, we got the address wrong.
Yes, Labrador, I remember how it was. We approached the house that we thought was the right one. The door opened and a tall man in a white apron with a butcher knife in his hand stood before us. We were a bit confused but decided he must be our babysitter since the address matched.
We entered the house and immediately felt uneasy. The kitchen had large knives hanging everywhere, and there were chunks of meat all around. We noticed a refrigerator that looked suspicious. When he opened it to grab something, we saw jars with what looked like eyes.
I remember how scared I was. Labrador and I started whispering, thinking this guy was a real murderer. He kept playing with the knife and gave us strange looks. We couldn't believe our parents sent us to such a person.
We decided we had to get out of there somehow. But when we tried to leave, he suddenly asked us what we were doing. I almost screamed in fear, but then I pulled myself together and said we wanted to take a little walk.
To our surprise, he let us go. We left the house and ran as fast as we could. We decided to go back home and tell our parents what happened. When we finally got home, Mom and Dad looked worried.
They immediately knew something was wrong. We explained what happened and they realized they had given us the wrong address. The real babysitter was waiting for us at a house on another street.
Dad decided to go back to that house and figure out what was going on. When he returned, he was laughing. It turned out that the man was a local chef preparing for a big banquet. Those eyes in the refrigerator were just pickled olives and cherries.
We laughed about it for a long time, but that incident taught us to be more careful. Ever since then, every time we see a chef with a knife, we remember that day and laugh.
It was one of those childhood adventures that stayed with us for life. Sometimes scary things turn out to be completely harmless. The main thing is not to lose your head and stay brave. Guys, don't forget to like and comment.
Dobie and I were at our station when we received an urgent call. All the babysitters in the world had suddenly started a revolt and taken over one of the daycares in our town. We quickly geared up and headed to the scene. It was hard to believe what could have caused such chaos.
When we arrived, we were met with a strange sight. Babysitters, usually so calm and caring, now looked like an army ready for battle. They had barricaded the entrance to the daycare and were shouting slogans. Some were holding toys like weapons, while others waved around diapers.
We approached cautiously, trying not to provoke more aggression. I attempted to start a conversation with the head babysitter, who seemed to be leading the revolt. She was elderly and stern, but determination shone in her eyes.
She responded that the babysitters were demanding better working conditions and higher wages. They felt undervalued and overworked. This was a full-blown babysitter revolution.
We realized the situation was serious and a peaceful solution was necessary. We suggested forming a committee to address the babysitters' issues and promised to relay their demands to the city authorities. But to do this, they needed to end the revolt and vacate the daycare.
The head babysitter thought it over and agreed. She believed we genuinely wanted to help. We arranged a meeting with the mayor and representatives from the education department to discuss the babysitters' demands.
At the meeting, the babysitters were able to voice their concerns and complaints. The mayor listened attentively and promised to take steps to improve their working conditions. It was decided to increase their salaries, improve their work schedules, and provide additional resources to aid them in their tough job.
After these negotiations, the babysitters calmed down and returned to their duties. The daycare reopened, and the children happily welcomed their babysitters back. Labrador and I were pleased that we could prevent the conflict from escalating and find a solution that satisfied everyone.
That day showed us how important it is to listen to people and help solve their problems. Even peaceful professions like babysitters can revolt if they are not heard. We learned to appreciate their work even more.
Yes, Labrador, it was an important lesson for all of us. We're glad we could help the babysitters and restore order in our town.
One morning, Dobie and I were at our station when we suddenly received a strange and unusual call. The message stated that a volcano had erupted in the city center. spewing money. We couldn't believe our ears, but we decided to head to the scene and figure out what was happening.
When we arrived, we saw an incredible sight. In place of the old fountain, there was now a real volcano, spewing money instead of lava. Bills, coins, gold bars. A crowd of people had gathered around, trying to catch as much money as possible, and chaos ensued.
Dobie and I realized the situation was getting out of control. People were pushing, arguing, and even fighting over the money. We had to intervene quickly to prevent a disaster. I took out a megaphone and started calming the crowd, urging everyone to move to a safe distance and avoid creating a stampede.
Meanwhile, I tried to figure out where this strange volcano came from. We noticed a scientist in a white lab coat nearby, observing the scene intently. I approached him and asked what was going on.
The scientist introduced himself as Dr. Finch and explained that he was conducting an experiment to create a source of infinite wealth. He didn't expect the experiment to get out of control and lead to a money volcano eruption. He was extremely worried and ready to help us solve the problem.
Dr. Finch and I quickly devised a plan to shut down the volcano. He explained the steps we needed to take to safely stop the eruption. While Labrador continued to manage the crowd, Dr. Finch and I worked on deactivating the machine that powered the volcano.
The work was complex and required precision, but we managed it. When the last safety switch was turned off, the eruption stopped, and the volcano began to quiet down. People calmed down, and we were able to restore order.
Dr. Finch thanked us for our help and promised not to conduct any more experiments without proper safety measures. Labrador and I were pleased that we could prevent a disaster and bring order back to the city.
We completed the mode. See you next time. Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. Today we will be escaping from the evil pot-bellied grandpa.
Yes, hello everyone, Sheriff Labrador. We better keep it down in case he wakes up and whacks us with his cane.
Stupid Dobie, you're yelling louder than me. Look, here's my photo. I'm afraid to think what he did with it.
What are you thinking, Labrador? I think he just printed it out to remember your face. Let's go before dinner time comes and he wakes up.
Let's just jump on his belly instead. You're scared of Dobie again. What can he do to us? His eyes even look in different directions.
Oh no, Labrador, I think we woke him up. Run!
It's okay, Dobie. That old poker is running at a snail's pace. But you'd better hurry up. You're too close to him. Don't fall behind.
I feel uneasy. My tail senses someone about to bite me from behind. The main thing is not to look back.
You're right, but we're almost there. I don't even know why that old man has so many dentures, and why doesn't he clean up the floor? It seems like he's tired of chasing us. Look at these strange photos. Why hang something like this on the wall?
We did it, Sheriff Labrador. Maybe he really loves to look at himself. Although, judging by everything, he hardly ever gets off the couch.
Look! What are those giant boogers on the fork? It doesn't look like broccoli. I hope he didn't bite into them. And there are no teeth of his fallen out inside.
If I'm honest, I adore broccoli. They taste like mushrooms mixed with sea kale. Write in the comments if you like broccoli.
What are you talking about, Dobie? Everyone hates broccoli. Let them rather write what they love to eat the most.
Everyone has different food preferences. If someone likes something that you don't, it doesn't mean that person is strange.
What? Did you see that? Why did I die? I didn't even touch him. Stupid developers. Let's just finish this. Let's calmly walk through these chattering broccoli. See the face of that old man ahead? Just go to him and don't look back.
See that guy? Why is he walking backwards? He's just distracting us. Phew, I stopped just in time. Spinach almost hit me in the muzzle.
I thought he was really just standing there waiting for us to pass these trials. Turns out he's so crazy he built his own giant iron copy and embedded it in the wall. But even your mom's bigger than him. Ha ha ha.
Watch out not to fall into the lava, Labrador, or you'll roast your sheriff outfit. They won't clean it off like last time when a seagull pooped on you. You tripped over a stone and fell into the city fountain. Ha ha ha.
Why are you speak off the cuff, Dobie? Maybe I should remind you of when you slipped on a piece of pizza and crashed into a lamppost. We had to pay for its repair too.
Very funny. But let's not get distracted, or you'll fall again. Let's ask the guys if they would like to see a video on our channel where we both play The Floor is Lava in Roblox. Write in the comments.
Why are you standing there, you goofball? I've already passed. Let's go further. Ahead of us awaits a conveyor belt with giant falling vegetables. Watch your head.
Once again, we are next to broccoli. Maybe you'll take a bite while you're next to it. I think you'll like it.
Where did you get lost there? Eating your broccoli again? We're in a hurry. Ahead of us is the room where we were at the very beginning, only now we're on top. I knew we just had to climb up to escape from him.
Sorry, they were very tempting. I couldn't resist. Look down. What's that pink stuff all over the floor? Maybe it's gum or jelly?
So, I'm Labrador, and my faithful partner is Dobie, the sheriffs of this wonderful city where something happens every day. But this day was truly special. It all started with rumors of strange experiments conducted in our city by a mad scientist. Everyone was tense, but no one expected that these experiments would lead to such a nightmare. This scientist, lost in the realms of science and madness, decided to experiment on jelly. Yes, you heard it right. On that sticky delicacy that each of us loves. He tried to improve it, making it more elastic, but alas, everything didn't go as planned. In one horrifying moment, there was an explosion that threw the scientist several meters back, and the jelly began to grow at an incredible speed. It covered everything in its path, threatening to flood our city. People ran in terror, screaming and praying for salvation. But I, Labrador, the sheriff of this city, couldn't allow this dreadful jelly to destroy everything we had built for so long. And I knew that my faithful friend Dobie was always by my side, ready to help. We moved forward. Our mission was clear: to stop this jelly at any cost. We swam through this sticky madness, my nose literally getting sucked into it, but we didn't give up. With my unmatched intellect and Dobie's nose, we found what fueled this jelly. Some strange reagent left by the scientist in his madness. We destroyed it, and the jelly began to melt, like falling snow. The city was saved. People came out on the streets again, and Dobie and I were proclaimed heroes of the day. But for us, the real reward was that we saved our beloved city from ruin. Thus ended our most incredible day, full of adventures and dangers. And, although no one will know about it firsthand, we know that we, Labrador and Dobie, the dynamic duo of canine justice, saved the world.
Amazing story, Labrador. Thanks for reminding us of it. But why did you bring a board with you? You can't slide down on it like on a sled.
I brought it for you, Dobie, in case you want to protect your pants.
Ha 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 ha! Very funny. Then let's talk about how you tore your pants when you climbed a tree to rescue a cat. The strangest thing was that the tear was in a very unexpected place. I hope the cat didn't get psychological trauma from what she saw there. Ha ha!
Let's not think about that right now. We're about to reach our main goal, to defeat that cheeky, pot-bellied old man.
Okay, Sheriff Labrador, let's focus on that. The main thing is not to repeat what happened a few minutes ago. Don't fall into the lava, ha ha! Look ahead, there are sod boards. Let me go first. I'm not as fat as you, so they won't break under me.
Look, Dobie, in the distance you can see that old man's lure, a golden prune. Strange choice. Why did he spend a lot of money on a dried fruit statue? Maybe it's because that old man himself looks like a dried fruit.
Why did that guy fall apart? He couldn't handle the upcoming challenge mentally. But I hope we'll succeed, Sheriff Labrador.
Dobie, let's finally finish this. Grab that prune and run. That way, we'll distract him with you, and I'll shoot at him with the bazooka.
Oh no, Labrador! It looks like he's hunting you instead of me. I'll try to distract him somehow.
Don't worry, he's very slow. Just make sure to dodge his big red laser. I don't want to find out how painful that is. It would be nice to have a bazooka like that. It would come in handy for major arrests. It even shoots backwards.
We're almost there. Let's push harder. I wonder how long it took him to make that giant suit and how he got inside it.
Yes, we did it. Great job. The world is saved from the crazy old man. We should celebrate, Dobie.
Hooray! Why did he just sink into the ground? Now that we're done, let me tell everyone an interesting story about how we saved the city from a virus epidemic. It all started on an ordinary morning. I went on duty with my partner, Sheriff Labrador. We noticed a sudden increase in the number of sick animals in the city. They were all complaining of weakness and fever, but no one could understand what was happening. We knew we had to act quickly, or the whole city could fall ill. I called our old friend Professor Ben, who worked in a secret laboratory outside the city. Ben had always been at the forefront of science and technology, and if anyone could help, it was him. "Hi, Dobie," said the professor. "It seems I have something that might help you. We've recently developed special visor glasses that allow you to see viruses in the environment." Labrador and I immediately went to Ben and received these amazing glasses. Putting them on, we saw our city in a completely new light. Viruses were everywhere, in the air, on surfaces, even on people and animals. We need to find the source of the infection, said Labrador. His tail wagging with excitement, we began surveying the city, looking for clusters of viruses. The visor glasses showed that one of the abandoned houses was teeming with viruses. We cautiously entered and discovered an old laboratory where someone had apparently been conducting dangerous experiments. On a table, we found records indicating that someone had deliberately released the virus into the city. It was unthinkable. We gathered all the evidence and returned to the city to warn everyone and start cleaning the infected areas. We need to isolate the infected and disinfect everything they might have touched, I ordered, and Labrador set out to coordinate the actions of the residents. Together with Professor Ben, we set up purification stations throughout the city. The residents, realizing the seriousness of the situation, began to help us. Labrador and I patrolled the streets, ensuring that everyone was safe. After several days of hard work, we finally managed to get the epidemic under control. The viruses disappeared, and our city became healthy and safe again. You did a great job, Dobie, said Professor Ben, patting me on the shoulder. Without you and Labrador, we couldn't have handled it so quickly. It's our job, I replied modestly, looking at our beautiful city. We're always here to protect those we care about. So, with the help of new technologies and a team of friends, we were able to save our city from an invisible threat. The visor glasses became a symbol of our victory over the epidemic, reminding everyone that even ordinary law enforcers can do great things.
Great story, Dobie, but it's time to say goodbye. We still have to save the world in real life. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. If you want us to play the scariest map in Roblox, leave a comment. Goodbye, everyone.
Greetings, friends. I'm Sheriff Dobie, and today, along with my loyal partner, Sheriff Labrador, we are diving into an incredible adventure in Roblox in the Bori Prison Escape Mode. Hello, Labrador. Hello, Dobie. Hello to all our viewers. Today, we have a challenging task: to escape from an underwater prison where the floor is made of water. It seems we've been framed and ended up here because of the merfolk. But no worries, we will find a way out. Yes, Labrador, that's right. This mode is a real test. Imagine a huge prison located underwater. Instead of the usual corridors and cells, there are massive aquariums filled with water where you have to swim to move around. Each cell has puzzles that need to be solved to progress further. Exactly, Dobie. And there are dangerous sea creatures here that will try to stop us. We will need to avoid sharks, electric eels, and even giant jellyfish. But the most difficult part is finding the keys hidden in various corners of this underwater prison. Precisely. So, our task is to find these keys, solve all the puzzles, and of course, uncover the mystery of who framed us and why. I'm sure we can handle this together.
And we need to stay alert because the merfolk might set traps for us. We must be cautious and always keep our ears pricked.
Absolutely right. So, are you ready for the adventure? Let's get started. Good luck to everyone. And don't forget to support us with likes and comments. We'll start with the first level, finding a way out of the cell. Oh, it seems we've already gotten out of the cell and into some strange place.
We're about to embark on a truly exciting adventure. One day, Dobie and I thought, what if we built a super rocket and traveled to all the worlds? We pooled all our knowledge, skills, and a bit of ingenuity to create this amazing machine. And now, the rocket is ready. Dobie, are you ready for launch? Ready.
Of course, Labrador. So, our super rocket, named World Voyager, is on the launch pad. We carefully designed it to withstand any conditions and take us to the farthest corners of the universe. Labrador, did you complete the final technical inspection?
Yes, Dobie, all systems are working perfectly. I checked the engines, fuel tanks, and navigation systems. We're ready for launch. All aboard, friends. Our first journey begins right now. Launch.
3, 2, 1, lift off! The rocket smoothly ascends. We pass through the atmosphere, and here we are, in open space. An incredible sight, right, Labrador?
Yes, Dobie, it's amazing. Our first destination is the moon, as it's the closest world to us. Within a few minutes, we've landed on the lunar surface. Everything is covered in dust, and traces of previous expeditions are visible. But what's this? Someone is coming towards us.
It's the moon inhabitants. They're friendly and have invited us to their market, where they sell unusual souvenirs and items made from moon rocks. We exchanged gifts and learned a lot about their culture, but it's time to move on. Where to next, Labrador?
Dobie, how about Mars? They say there are hidden cities there. We take off again and head to the Red Planet. After a soft landing, we see amazing Martian cities built under domes. These domes protect the inhabitants from the harsh conditions of Mars.
We met a Martian engineer who showed us his inventions. It turns out the Martians are developing systems to process Martian soil into useful materials. We took some ideas into account and set off again.
Our next stop was Titan, Saturn's moon. Everything here was covered with icy lakes and mountains. We put on special suits and went to explore the subglacial caves. In one of the caves, we met the Titanians, intelligent beings living under the ice and feeding on Saturn's energy.
The Titanians turned out to be excellent storytellers. They told us legends about their ancestors and showed us ancient manuscripts carved on ice tablets. We were impressed by their culture and peaceful way of life. Time flew by, and it was time for a new journey.
How about Venus? They say colonies living in the clouds have been recently discovered there. We took off and headed to this mysterious planet. Venus greeted us with a dense atmosphere, but we successfully made our way through it and saw giant floating cities in the clouds.
These cities were built on huge cloud platforms, and the Venusians turned out to be incredibly hospitable. They showed us their technology, which allows them to extract energy from cloud vortices and create artificial rainforests. We spent several days enjoying their hospitality and studying their achievements.
And now it's time for the farthest journey. We set course for Proxima Centauri, the closest star to us. This journey took several weeks, but thanks to our super rocket, we arrived safely. On one of the planets, we discovered an amazing world inhabited by cybernetic beings.
These beings lived in harmony with nature and technology. They showed us their advancements in artificial intelligence and nanotechnology. We were amazed at how they managed to create a perfect balance between life and technology. And so, finally, our journey came to an end.
We returned home, full of impressions and knowledge. It was an incredible adventure, and we're glad you friends were with us all this time. Our super rocket performed excellently, and we will definitely continue to explore new worlds in the future.
Thank you for being with us, friends. We learned a lot, saw incredible places, and met amazing beings. We hope you enjoyed our story.
I will tell you an amazing story that happened to us a week ago. There were so many incidents and calls in our town that Dobie and I just couldn't be everywhere at once. So we decided to take extreme measures and clone ourselves. Dobie, are you ready to tell how it all started?
All right. A week ago, Labrador and I turned to our old friend, Professor Tesla, who specializes in biotechnology. We explained our problem to him, and he suggested creating our clones. We knew it was risky, but we had no other choice.
Professor Tesla developed a special machine that could create exact copies of us with the same skills and knowledge. He assured us that the clones would act and think just like us. After a few hours of work, our clones were ready. We named them Dobie 2 and Labrador 2. The robbery was orchestrated by a gang known as the Dark Shadows. They were professionals, and it would have been tough for us to handle them. But our clones rose to the occasion. They infiltrated the bank through the ventilation system and managed to neutralize the robbers using their hand-to-hand combat skills and strategic thinking.
Meanwhile, Labrador and I received another call, a fire at a factory. We rushed there to help the firefighters. There were many people in the factory, and they needed to be evacuated urgently. Working together with the firefighters, we managed to save all the workers and prevent the fire from spreading to neighboring buildings.
During this time, Dobie 2 and Labrador 2 received a call about a hostage situation at a school. There were armed criminals on the scene, and the situation was very tense. Our clones started negotiating with the criminals while simultaneously devising a plan to rescue the hostages.
Using cleverness and negotiation skills, the clones managed to distract the criminals and secretly enter the school. They then neutralized the criminals and safely evacuated all the children and teachers. It was an incredibly brave and professional act.
Meanwhile, several more incidents occurred in our town. A jewelry store robbery, street races, and a highway accident. But thanks to our clones, we were able to handle each of them. Dobie 2 and Labrador 2 acted like real heroes, and people started noticing that the sheriffs could be in two places at once.
But not everything went smoothly. A few days later, we noticed that our clones were starting to behave strangely. They became more aggressive and unpredictable. Professor Tesla explained that the clones might begin to develop their own personalities and go out of control.
And then, one evening, our clones caused real chaos in the town. They decided they could become the new rulers of the town and started setting their own rules. We had to step in and stop them.
It was a tough battle. Our clones knew all our tactics and moves, but we used our wits and experience to outsmart them. In the end, we managed to neutralize them and bring them back to Professor Tesla.
The professor apologized for what had happened and destroyed the cloning machine. We realized there are no shortcuts to success and that we have to handle all challenges ourselves, relying on our own strengths and mutual support.
This was an important lesson for us. We understood that despite all the difficulties, true strength lies in our team and our ability to work together. Thank you for being with us, friends. We are always ready to help, and no difficulties will stop us.
A week ago, Sheriff Dobie and I used a teleport to travel to the future and the past. It all started when we received a mysterious device from our friend, Professor Tesla.
Professor Tesla explained that his new invention could move us through time. He gave us the task of testing the teleport and finding out how it could be used for the benefit of our town. We immediately agreed and began our journey.
First, we decided to travel to the past. We set the teleport to 50 years ago and found ourselves in our town when it was completely different. Old buildings, people in retro clothes, and vintage cars. It was all amazing. We met a young Sheriff Jack who became our mentor.
It was an unforgettable adventure, friends. We hope to use the teleport again to make our town safer. Thank you for being with us. Until next time, and new adventures.
Hi guys, today we entered the Roblox mode, Escape from the Inside Out 2 characters prison. Subscribe to the channel and hit the like button so you don't miss our adventures.
Hey Labrador, have you seen the new Inside Out 2? This mode is straight from the movie. We have to escape from the prison guarded by characters from the film.
Yes, Dobby, I have, and you know what's the coolest part? We're right inside Riley's head. But something's wrong, all the emotions are furious and trying to stop us.
Ha! Look, there's Joy standing with the guards. Who is she gonna make happy if we're locked up here? By the way, we need to get through the maze of her memories to escape.
The memory maze isn't as joyful as it sounds. Look, Dobby, Sadness is doing something over there. She blocked our path.
Ha! Now we're stuck in a sad corridor. What do you think, Labrador? If we act sad, will she let us through?
Yeah, or maybe we need to cheer her up. Let's try a joke. Why can't Sadness find happiness? Because she lost it.
Oh, looks like she found it funny. The path is clear. Onward to anger.
Oh no, Anger's on guard. He looks ready to blow everything up. Okay, Dobby, let's think of a way to get past him.
Maybe we can distract him with something? Look, there's a button. If we press it, the fire alarm will go off.
Great idea. Press the button, and I'll figure out how we can get to the exit.
It worked. He ran off to put out the imaginary fire. We have time. Quickly, to the stairs.
The stairs lead right to Disgust. He's always unhappy about something. Maybe we can sneak past while he's not looking.
Ha! There's Disgust. Hey, Labrador, why does he always look like his shoe is too tight?
Dobby, stop joking. Let's run. We're almost at the exit. Look, all the characters from the movie are here. There's Joy, Sadness, Anger, Disgust, and Fear.
Joy is always cheerful and positive, but not today, apparently. She's guarding the main corridor. Looks like she won't let us pass. Let's try to make her laugh. Why does Joy always smile? Because her smile is contagious.
Ha, she didn't even notice. Oh well, let's move on. Oh look, there's Sadness. She's always so gloomy. Maybe she needs a good hug.
Maybe. Sadness looks like my dog at home when I go to work. Always sad and pining.
Ha, your dog would be Sadness's best friend. Okay, let's keep going. Here's Anger. He's red as a tomato and looks ready to explode.
Yeah, better not mess with him. He reminds me of my football coach when I forgot my gear for practice.
Yep, exactly. Hey, look, there's Disgust. She's always so squeamish about everything. I'm sure there are sticky obstacles in her area.
Yeah, her expression says it all. Reminds me of when I first tried broccoli.
Haha, Broccoli, the enemy of all kids. And finally, Fear. He's always so scared. We need to sneak past him carefully so we don't scare him even more.
Labrador, have you noticed that Fear's eyes are wider than an owl's? He'd be perfect for night shifts at a warehouse.
Oh, totally. Okay, let's move on. Oh no, there's a maze of memories. Dobie, be careful. It's easy to get lost here.
Ha! The maze reminds me of my thoughts in the morning. Confused and nonsensical. Let's stick together.
A great idea. We're almost at the exit. But wait, there's one more obstacle. Ahead are joy, sadness, anger, disgust, and fear all together.
We'll have to combine our efforts. Hey, Joy, here's a joke for you. Why does Joy always smile? Because she knows everything will be okay in the end.
Great joke, Dobie. Now for sadness. What does sadness do when she's bored? She writes sad poems.
Anger. Why is Anger always mad? Because he doesn't have time to relax.
Disgust. Why is disgust always squeamish? Because she sees the world through green glasses.
And finally, Fear. Why is Fear always scared? Because he knows there might be something scary around the corner.
Dobie, have you ever noticed that sometimes we get unexpected ideas and solutions? As if someone else is guiding our actions.
Oh yes, Labrador. I once felt unusually confident when I caught that clever thief on the corner of Baker Street. It was strange, like I knew exactly what to do at every moment.
Exactly. I think it's not just a coincidence. Remember when we watched Inside Out 2 and saw how joy, sadness, fear, anger, and disgust controlled Riley's emotions? I have a feeling something similar is happening to us.
That sounds incredible, but I can't deny that something strange is happening. How can we test this?
Well, let's try to recall some cases where our emotions played a key role. Remember when we saved that family from the burning house? I felt incredible courage and calmness then.
Yes, and I remember suddenly feeling immense compassion and determination at that moment. Maybe it was the work of sadness and joy?
Exactly. And what about the time when we exposed that crime syndicate? I was so focused and determined, that was definitely anger's influence.
And when we were on a mission in the forest and encountered a dangerous bear, I suddenly felt fear. But that fear helped me act cautiously and quickly.
It seems like our emotions really did help us in various situations. This is incredible.
But why is this happening? Why are the characters from Inside Out 2 controlling our emotions?
Maybe it's some unusual force, or just our imagination helping us better understand ourselves and our actions. But either way, it makes our job even more exciting and effective.
You're right, Labrador. I think with such an emotional helper in our heads, we can handle any criminals and save even more people.
Yep, and maybe we can learn to better control our emotions and use them to our advantage. Thank you, joy, sadness, fear, anger, and disgust.
Yes, thank you for your help and support. Together, we'll make our city even safer and better.
Dobie, remember that day when we worked as lifeguards on the beach? It was an ordinary summer day full of laughter and joy. But then everything changed.
Of course, Labrador. I remember noticing that big ship dock not far from the beach. At first, it didn't attract much attention, but then strange things started happening.
Exactly. It all began when a few kids came to us complaining that they felt sick after eating ice cream from that ship. At first, we thought it was just a coincidence or that the kids had overeaten.
But then it became clear that it wasn't just a coincidence. The number of affected people increased, and they all talked about the same ice cream. We needed to act quickly.
We decided to go to that ship and find out what was going on. As we approached the vessel, we noticed that they were actively selling ice cream. The line was huge.
When we boarded, we started asking the vendors questions. At first, they seemed friendly, but then they began to get nervous. I noticed they were hiding some boxes in the hold.
We asked to see those boxes, and it turned out they contained suspicious substances. We called the police and health services to check everything out.
It turned out that the ice cream was indeed contaminated. The vendors were arrested, and the affected people received the necessary help. Thanks to our quick reaction, we were able to prevent serious consequences.
I'm proud of how we handled that situation. We were able to save many people and prevent the spread of a dangerous product. It was a great example of how important it is to be vigilant and ready for any surprises.
Yes, Labrador, that day showed how crucial our work is and how important it is to pay attention to everything happening around us. Thanks to our resourcefulness and determination, we were able to prevent a tragedy.
Dobie, remember the day we had to fight a robot on a skyscraper? It was a real nightmare. I still can't believe that robot was shooting food.
Of course, Labrador. It was madness. As soon as we arrived, we saw the upper floors of the skyscraper covered in smoke and people screaming. And what kind of idea was it for the villain to use a robot that shoots food?
We quickly went up to the roof using the service elevator. When the doors opened, we saw a huge robot shooting burgers, pizzas, and other dishes directly at people. It was controlled by a villain in a black suit holding a remote control.
We had to act fast. People were panicking, and we had to protect them. I remember you said, Dobie, distract the robot, and I'll try to get to the villain.
You did a great job distracting Dobie. Your agile jumps and dodging flying food were impressive. I managed to get close enough to the villain and snatch the remote control from him.
But then the robot started acting on its own, and we had to come up with another plan. You suggested using the food against it. We began throwing back the same food it was shooting at us, right into its mechanisms.
It worked! The robot's mechanism started jamming and it slowed down. We took advantage of the moment and completely shut it down. It was incredible how we managed to handle such a threat.
After that, we arrested the villain and sent him to jail. It turned out he was a genius but insane scientist who wanted to create chaos in the city with his strange machine.
This case showed us that we should never underestimate our enemies and always be ready for the most unexpected challenges. We've proven once again that together we can handle any threat.
Yes, Labrador, it was indeed a crazy day, but we managed. Our city can sleep peacefully, knowing that we are always on guard and ready to protect it from any dangers, whether it's a food-shooting robot or something else.
Here we are at the final stage, Dobie. Just one last parkour challenge and we'll finally escape this prison of emotions. Are you ready?
Ready as ever. I see joy, sadness, anger, disgust, and even fear have all set up their final act. I hope we don't have to dance with joy on a flaming track.
Thanks, Dobie. And now we're flying out on the helicopter. It's time to prepare for the next adventure. Who knows what awaits us there?
Yes, the next adventures will be even more exciting, hopefully with less emotional trials. See you in the next game mode.
Hi, friends. Today we have another adventure for you. Dobie and I decided to jump into Roblox and try out a new mode. Escape from Mr. Candy's store.
Hello, hello. Oh yes, friends. This mode looks absolutely amazing. We found ourselves in a giant store where everything around us is candy, chocolate, lollipops, and other sweets. But, as you might have guessed, not everything is as sweet as it seems at first glance.
That's right. Mr. Candy turned out to be not such a kind old man after all. In fact, he locked us in his store, and now we have to navigate through a ton of traps and challenges to escape. Can you believe it? He even put giant lollipops in our path that are trying to stop us.
And there are also areas in the store with lava made of molten chocolate that we need to carefully jump across to avoid sinking, and that's not the scariest part. Ahead of us are dangerous candy walls that can crush us if we don't pass through them in time.
Did you know there's an entire maze made of gummy snakes in this store? Dobie and I have to make it through while avoiding encounters with these sweet but very dangerous creatures. Only when we escape the maze will we face the final battle with Mr. Candy.
And he's not just any boss. Mr. Candy is a giant caramel monster who throws sugar lollipops at us. We need to be very fast and agile to defeat him and break free from this sweet nightmare.
So guys, get ready for a fun and exciting adventure with us. We're sure it's going to be something incredible. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up if you want to see more adventures like this. It helps us create even more awesome content for you.
Support us, friends. Now onward to escape from Mr. Candy's store. It's going to be sweet but dangerous.
Today we have a story about how Dobie and I found ourselves in a creepy yet amazing place. A deserted candy store. I still can't believe it really happened.
Oh yes, Labrador. That was one of those nights you just can't forget. It all started when we received a strange message. Someone told us about an abandoned candy store on the outskirts of our town. No one had been there for a long time, but rumors said strange things happened there at night.
Of course, Dobie and I couldn't resist such an opportunity. We decided to go there and spend the night to find out what was going on. When we arrived, we saw an old, half-ruined building with a peeling sign that still read, Mr. Sweet Tooth's Candy Store.
The store looked as if it had been abandoned for years. Dust covered the windows, and inside it was dark and quiet. We went inside and immediately noticed a faint smell of something sweet, but long past its prime. There was something eerie about this place. and I could feel my ears pinning back in tension.
We started exploring the store. The shelves were filled with old candy, cookies, and pastries that had once been fresh and appetizing, but had now turned into something unappealing and almost foul-smelling. But the strangest thing happened when we reached the back of the store.
There, we found an old door leading to a storeroom. It was dark inside, but when we turned on our flashlights, we saw a giant piece of candy. It was the size of a small car and looked as if it had been made just yesterday. It was strange because everything else in the store was old and falling apart.
We decided to take a closer look, and then something creepy happened. As we approached, the candy began to slowly open, as if someone was inside. We backed away, preparing for the worst, and then, out of the candy came caramel shadows. They resembled human figures but were made of dense, translucent caramel. These creatures began to slowly move toward us.
At that moment, it became truly terrifying. We started backing away, trying to find a way out of the storeroom, but the door slammed shut on its own, as if someone or something didn't want us to leave. The caramel shadows started moving faster, and we realized we had to do something quickly.
That's when I noticed an old switch on the wall, and I had an idea. I shouted to Dobie to distract the shadows while I tried to turn on the lights. We already knew that these creatures were afraid of light since they had been sticking to the shadows when we first entered.
I began running around the room, shining my flashlight on the caramel shadows. It worked! The shadows retreated, trying to hide from the light. Meanwhile, Labrador reached the switch and turned on the lights. The room was flooded with bright light, and the caramel shadows began to melt, turning into a sticky mass on the floor.
We both sighed with relief. But that wasn't the end of the story. As soon as the shadows disappeared, a low, raspy voice echoed through the room. It came from the giant piece of candy, which began to slowly close again. "You have freed me," the voice said. We didn't know what to do next, but the candy suddenly burst, leaving behind only a cloud of sweet-smelling air.
It turned out that this candy was a spell that had trapped an ancient spirit of sweets. We had accidentally freed it, but luckily, it wasn't hostile. It thanked us for freeing it and said that the store could now find peace.
We left the store, and the moment we crossed the threshold, the building behind us began to slowly disappear. Within seconds, nothing was left but an empty patch of land. We stood in the night, looking at the place where the store had been, realizing we had witnessed something extraordinary.
It was an incredible adventure, and we learned that even the most ordinary places can hide big secrets. The main thing is not to be afraid because there's always a way to deal with any situation, even if it seems completely fantastical.
We want to tell you an incredible story about how Dobie and I once found ourselves in the middle of a sweet adventure. And it all started at our school when we decided to conduct what seemed like an innocent experiment.
It was an idea that turned out to be much more interesting than we expected. It all began during our magic class. Our teacher was talking about different spells when he suddenly mentioned an ancient candy wizard. According to him, this wizard could turn everything around him into sweets. Labrador and I exchanged glances and immediately knew we had to try this out.
After class, we decided to stay behind. Everyone else had gone home, and we pulled out an old spell book we found in the school library. Among the hundreds of spells, we came across the very spell to summon the candy wizard. Of course, we knew it might be risky, but our curiosity got the better of us.
Labrador started reading the spell, while I kept an eye on the chalk circle we'd drawn on the floor. As the words of the spell rolled off his tongue, the air in the room began to smell sweetly of vanilla and caramel. Suddenly, colorful sparks appeared in front of us, and in the center of the circle, the candy wizard materialized.
He was short, with a long beard that looked like cotton candy, and dressed in bright robes covered with candies and lollipops. The candy wizard smiled at us and said he was glad to be summoned because he loved creating sweet miracles. But here's what we didn't consider. Every time he used his powers, they could get out of control.
At first, everything was amazing. The candy wizard began performing miracles. Caramel rain fell from the ceiling, books on the shelves turned into chocolate bars, and the desks became pastries. We were thrilled, thinking this was the best magic ever. But when the wizard tried to turn the blackboard into a giant cake, something went wrong.
The candy wizard tried to make the blackboard into a strawberry cake, but instead, the spell spiraled out of control. The cake started growing and grew so fast that it filled the entire classroom. Dobie and I tried to escape, but the door was already blocked by huge layers of cream and cake.
We were trapped inside a giant cake. Labrador and I were genuinely scared because this sweet nightmare could easily suffocate us. Even the candy wizard was flustered, as his power had become too strong for this world.
We started looking for a way out, pushing through the sweet layers. But the further we went, the more the cake kept growing. At that moment, the candy wizard finally realized he needed to stop his spell immediately, or the entire school could turn into one giant dessert.
The wizard focused and began reciting the spell backward. Slowly but surely, the giant cake started to shrink, and Labrador and I were finally able to break free. The room returned to normal, though it was still covered in a layer of caramel and chocolate.
The candy wizard, apologizing for the incident, promised us he wouldn't use his magic in our school again. He thanked us for summoning him and disappeared just as suddenly as he had appeared. And there we were, standing in the middle of the room, covered in the sweet remnants of his magic.
The next day, when everyone returned to school, no one could believe their eyes. The whole classroom was covered in sweets, but luckily, no one but us knew how it happened. The magic teacher was surprised, but decided not to ask too many questions. Labrador and I learned a valuable lesson. Candy magic, while delicious, can be very dangerous.
Listen, Dobie, I don't even get how we ended up here. We were just supposed to escape from this cursed candy factory, and now we're holding an RPG and facing a giant caramel boss.
I'm in shock too, Labrador. This is a sweet tooth nightmare. Mr. Sweetness clearly went overboard. We need to take him down quickly before he buries us in cotton candy.
You're right, Dobie, but this caramel monster doesn't just have cotton candy, he's also shooting lollipops. Hold tight, I'm going to try and flank him.
Got it, and I'll cover you with RPG fire. Just watch out for his caramel traps. They're sticky, like my first job.
Whew, that was epic. Great job, Dobie. We've defeated Mr. Sweetness, and now we can finally get out of here. And maybe grab some ice cream? Just kidding. See you later, viewers.